Since the dawn of man, or Mer as the case may be, one thing has remained constant: the need to beat other life forms into submission. The common club has been a traditional option, but modern problems require modern solutions, and a simple stick is so cliché.
We're not cavemen! We have technology!
Thankfully, there are many options that have improved upon the classics. Some have even evolved beyond the concept of being used as a bludgeon and serve now as a spellcaster's best friend, despite still being officially classified as two-handed blunts. Greetings, Outlander, Get Shiver here, and today we're going to be taking a look at 3 of Morrowind's most unique staves, generally coveted and occasionally ridiculed for their magical effects. The first staff on our list is the Staff of Hassidoki. This sad-looking stick belonged to a wizard named Hassidoki, obviously. This wizard was, to all knowledge at the time, the greatest of his age, but this success left him feeling isolated, since everyone feared his power. The staff, as it appears in Morrowind, carries a resist magicka enchantment at 30 to 40% for 30 seconds, making it the 4th strongest natural occurrence of the effect, and the strongest instance to be found on a weapon. Fans of the Skyrim incarnation will likely be saddened by the lack of soul trap or knockback effects that the staff picked up in the eternally controversial pit of paid mods that is the Creation Club, but considering the lack of physics or the ability to harvest black souls, I think we can safely say that the staff is as great as it ever was. In order to get our hands on this blue bastion of blocked magic, we'll first need to travel to a small tomb, nestled amongst the rocks and reeds of the Tavani coast heading north from Telarune. As we approach the ancient Dunmer stronghold of Enderanyon, we'll see a small island off to the east. Upon our arrival, a mud crab will greet us with open mandibles. This is Barum Ancestral Tomb. The staff isn't here, but if you aren't adept at picking locks, this stop will be necessary. This door is locked, but someone was kind enough to leave us a key just to the right on the wall. Behind door number 1 is a leveled undead. Most spawns in this run are leveled, so your mileage may vary. Nearby is a copy of Vivek's 16th sermon for a quick axe lesson. Around the corner will be a leveled Daedra. Same deal as the undead. With him out of the way, we can poke around the left side room for another undead encounter. For me, it was another Bone Lord. Plus, an unfortunate sod with an unusual scroll of black fate. These scrolls damage luck 5 to 15 points on touch. There are only 7 guaranteed examples of this scroll in-game, and we're going to get 2 of them today. Down the stairs, we find ourselves in a room with 2 doors. The one straight ahead doesn't add anything to today's adventure, so we'll instead focus on the door to the right, behind which will be a leveled Daedra and undead enemies to deal with. Up the small staircase will be our target. Though he appears to be an unnamed knight, we do know that his name is Morty, as will be revealed at our next stop. Grab his key to Gamothran Ancestral Tomb, which happens to be our next target. Heading back outside, we take the relatively short trip to the southwest. Gamothran Ancestral Tomb can be found due west of Wolverine Hall in Sadrith Mora. If you pass Galamdeus, you've gone too far. This tomb starts off eerily similar to the last one. The first door is at least unlocked, but a leveled undead waits patiently for trespassers on the other side. Once it's been dealt with, we need to locate 2 keys hidden in this room. Put away that detect key spell. The first key is on the left side of the pillar by the first altar. The second can be found on the ground behind you, also just past the first altar. The first key opens 2 chests, and the second one opens 2 doors. The first of each is in this room. Beyond the locked room lies a hallway with several adjoining rooms. However, none are really worth dwelling on unless you want more leveled undead. Didn't think so. Down the winding hallway, however, things do get more interesting with the second low-level locked door that the key from upstairs unlocks. This brings us into a long gallery of burial urns and another door leading to another leveled undead. Most interestingly, this room contains an inanimate skeleman. This is Volpris Dennison, and he has a story to tell us. So grab your cocoa and I'll relay the tale of how we came upon this fate. Alas, Morty, my fallen companion, could not make it this far. I regret that his corpse still holds the key to the tomb I must reach in order to achieve the mission. I am left alone, with only blade and skill to accomplish this task. I believe I've come to the end of my journey, but without the key, I find myself in the position of forcing entry, for behind this door, I am sure an evil terror awaits. I leave this warning in case I do not make it. Surely this door is trapped, and my lockpicking and disarming skills leave much to be desired. If someone happens upon my body, know that I have failed, and know that there is surely a great prize, the staff of Hasadoki, awaiting further into this evil tomb. Beware the keeper of the great staff. Be sure to grab the Imperial Dragon Scale helm lying beside his bone heap, and we can find the second scroll of Black Fade on an altar behind us. Unfortunately for Volpris and Morty, but fortunately for us, we already have all the keys we need, so bust down the final door and prepare for a fight. A low-level undead runs in first as a distraction, while the orc sorcerer Kafuto Gilgar summons a bone walker in a feeble attempt to escape.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
Once he's out of the way, we can loot his corpse for our sick new walking stick. The staff is a perfect addition to any Altmer or Apprentice build with its excellent resist magic enchantment. Not to mention its curious similarities to the Blue Devils mascot. I wonder if Mark Nelson had anything to do with this. And if you don't get that reference, check out my Elton Brand video and it'll all make sense. Up next on our list is an honorable mention that isn't so much an amazing combat piece as it is a hallowed Velothi relic. We're off to the very heart of Vardenfell, and I mean that literally, as this brazenly bad basher is buried beneath the blighted and billowing bowels of Degathur, the place, not the demigod.
I'm a god.
Our target was lost in battle by a temple captain fighting the forces of the Sixth House deep in the citadel of Red Mountain. This artifact is the Crozier of St. Lothus, and what makes it so unusual are its enchantments. Damage health for 10 to 20 points, blind for 50 points, and disintegrate armor for 20 points. What's so unusual about that, you may ask? Well, not much, besides the fact that they're all cast on self, which goes a long way towards explaining why this noble captain failed in his assault. St. Lothus the Pious is the Dunmary saint of tailors and dyers, and is typically associated with fortitude of will. Upon his death, Sothasil recovered his soul, placing it into several different containers until finally settling on the Crozier. Maybe his soul is tired of being shuffled around like leftover pizza. But whatever the reason, his remnants will be utterly unhelpful. It does look pretty cool though, and there is a tribunal temple quest to retrieve this relic, so if you happen to be in the neighborhood, you might as well pick it up. Just don't go casting it. As I said before, we need to head to Red Mountain, past the ghost fence and up the winding trail that leads to the caldera of the mountain, and the sprawling complex that is Degathur, avoiding the corpus beasts and diseased creatures as best we can, since contracting blight disease isn't on my list of goals for the day. The crater is less than friendly to tourists, and the door is sealed up tight by a hidden mechanism, much like Arkanthan's Dwemer door. The handle can be found down this narrow strip of land to the south, opening the protective shell and revealing the door to the outer facility. Once inside, we'll need to proceed through this area, past the various ash spawn. Down the stairs in the central chamber, there's a dead adventurer, just in case you somehow wandered in here without realizing it was a deadly den of Dagoth denizens. And around the next corner, we'll find the probable cause of his death, Dagoth Vancer, with the first of 3 Sixth House amulets to collect today as well. In the next room, Dagoth the Innos waits to offer up his amulet in exchange for a quick death, which is a fair enough bargain as far as I'm concerned. From here, we'll jump down to the lower room and take the door on the far wall that leads to the inner facility. One more ash hole blocks our path, but once he's dealt with, we can take the stairs down to a 3-way intersection. Beyond the middle door is a hatch that leads up to the inner tower and the target of our hunt. Also, Dagoth Irvin is here with our 3rd Sixth House amulet. Behind him, you'll notice a body that long ago hit the floor. This is Buoyant Armiger Captain Vorus Bethermo. His armaduring days are long past now, so feel free to grab his glass armor as a consolation prize for coming all this way. Beside him on the ground is the subject of our hunt and a likely suspect for Varus's murder, the Crozier of St. Lothus. Much like the Sword Fury, this one makes for a nice display piece more than anything else. The same can't be said about our next item, however. The last item in our showcase today needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give it one anyway. The Staff of Magnus, also sometimes known as the Golden Staff, is an epic, ancient magical artifact that can be traced all the way back to the Dawn era, predating most of the artifacts we've examined thus far. It was created by Magnus, again, obviously, who is remembered as the god of magic, instrumental in Lorkhan's formation of the Mundus. But that story is way outside the purview of today's video, as are the many highly impactful events in Tamrielic history that the staff has been involved in. It could be an entire video to itself, but let's keep our focus squarely centered on the events of Morrowind for now. In this incarnation, the staff carries two different effects, a 25 to 50% chance of absorbing spells for 60 seconds, as well as restore health 1 point for 60 seconds. This staff provides the second highest absorb magicka chance in the game. As such, it'll be extremely useful for Atronach builds that are reliant on absorbing magicka to function. In the normal course of events, you'll be sent to retrieve this fine relic by one famous shroom-loving feline, Ajira, at the Balmora Mages Guild upon reaching Warlock rank in said guild. But if there are two traits that Morrowind rewards, it's perseverance and initiative. We don't need some drug-addled cat to send us on an epic quest. All we need to do is make our way down to Molag Mar and use our definitely not TSA-approved flying dagger to travel north to Mount Cand. The mountain makes for a fairly discernible landmark, but there are two caves near to each other. One is the Mount Cand Caverns, which we don't want, and the other is the brilliantly named Asu. Once you've taken down the guard hound, you can crawl all up in Asu. Besides the dank cavernous nature of Asu, the first thing that really jumps out at you is a Daedra. I'm not sure if they're leveled, but I encountered quite a few Daedrots in here. The first major hurdle we'll encounter here goes by the name of Fistel. Yes, Fistel. In the Asu Cave. Anyway, Fistel is a fan of clan fears and casting burden. I guess you could say she's a real pain in the... Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. What's the word? Anyway, once her and her various Daedra are down, feel free to check the random chests in here, including one at the bottom of the pool. Just watch out for the slaughterfish. Moving on, we'll encounter one last Daedroth and find ourselves entering into a vast, gaping, okay, that's enough of that, cavern with a notable presence at the western side. Saving and healing is definitely recommended here, as the sorceress on the other side, Dravini Hlaren, is a level 20 sampler platter of spells designed to ensure that you have a bad time. She'll also most likely have a Daedra sidekick and summon a Bone Walker just for a little extra grease. I decided the best way to fight her was to draw everyone to the bottom of the platform, then levitate around to the back and gain the high ground, which seems to have worked out nicely. Once the witch lies dead, we can rummage around her pockets for the glorious Staff of Magnus and its spell-sucking enchantment. Besides its prowess as a defensive aid, its unique appearance makes it a standout among more common sticks, so find a nice place to display it if you aren't intending on handing one of Tamriel's most historic artifacts to a certain hippie kitty. And there we have it, 3 of Morrowind's most powerful, or questionable, but certainly unique staves. And yes, you can still use them to bludgeon enemies if you want to. I'll definitely be adding these to my growing museum, and I hope you'll consider picking them up as well. That's gonna do it for today. As always, if you enjoyed this video, likes and comments are always appreciated. And if you want to stay up to date on our latest videos, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, I've been Gitshiver. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.